Hi, how we doing, folks? It's your boy Marcus right here, slowly and surely running out of voice. Everybody's been sick around me, like everybody. At work, man, there's not a soul. And when you work at a radio station, it's pretty difficult because like you use the same stuff with everybody. So no matter how clean you try to keep everything, you're still gonna touch something for somebody that was sick. And I'm not the biggest germaphobe. I don't really care. You know, there's people that walk around with bottles of Purell, like I said, job. I'm more of the old school mentality of, you know what, man, if like I get grimy and I survive with it, I get stronger. That don't kill you, could only make you stronger. I need you to hold me up now. I can't take much longer. Good song right there. Kanye West, Stronger, off Graduation, was it? Yeah, I think it was called Graduation. Very good album, very good song. Not the biggest Kanye West fan, but that's a pretty damn good song. To tell you the truth, I haven't listened to you, I haven't listened to his new music. I'm not, you know, ever since he started going to everything, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I could listen to a stork if I want to hear that. I don't want to listen to Kanye West doing that. But once you stop rhyming with words and just start making sound effects, at that point, I kind of figure your career is a little bit over. Weezy did it to a certain extent too. He was just like laughing stuff. Unless you're doing the Jadakiss laugh, ha ha, then everything else is kind of just not too cool. And over there, I missed that jump. I'm like, come on, man. And I'm like, oh, well, look at this. I landed in this beautiful little courtyard where I could do some serious damage. So let's backtrack just a little bit. You know, obviously our father passed away. We got the hidden blade. Our father, the whole family, they didn't pass away. They got killed. Now we got the hidden blade. We're a little bit more orphan ourselves in Epsiode, but we're still over here in Florence. We're still in this like high degree of notoriety. Now, let's check out what's happening in the building.
You were gone for quite a while.
Leonardo likes to talk.
That he does, but I trust he did more than talk. I've given you the skills, Leonardo's given you the blade. All that remains is the deed.
Where can I find Uberto?
According to my girls, he'll be attending an unveiling tonight of Verrocchio's latest work. It will be held at the Santa Croce cloister.
Watch over my mother and sister while I'm away.
Of course.
Va bene.
As if they were my own.
Alright, so we're going after my boy Umberto. He killed my family. You don't mess around with familia, son. Especially not in Italy. They don't play those games. What I do want to talk about today... Well, actually, let's watch the bit on Umberto.
Trusted friend of the Auditore family. According to the history books, this guy was a saint. He prosecuted murderers, rapists, the worst criminals. One of the best lawyers in Italy, he won every case, in spite of the fact that he was self-taught. Now, I found a back door into the Templars' database server. I've been combing it for some kind of smoking gun. I found it. Apparently, Uberto's family was evicted by the Medici Bank. Uberto's been aching for revenge ever since. And the Templars promised him support. Ezio's father was standing in the way, and Uberto was jealous of his influence over the Florentine government. Two birds with one stone, isn't it? It looks like Uberto used his election to the Signoria as his opportunity to strike.
And boy, did my man Umberto strike, but we're going to strike him a little bit harder. Before I get into today's topic, I was going to talk about music and whatnot, but this just brought up right here, man. Revenge. Revenge. It's something I'm glad I don't really have. I don't really seek revenge. Like, if you harm me, I just kind of tell you to fuck off and never talk to you again. But, you know, I'd never seek to, like, ruin your life, to, like, end your life, take your life miserable. Because all you're going to do in your process is make your life miserable, too. You might take the other guy down with you, sure, but you're going to take you down with you as well. So revenge is just a petty little theme, and you know, it's different, I think, when they kill, like, your whole family. I mean, even Epsiode, you know, this first game is based on revenge. You know, the second game isn't so much based on, it's based on forming a brotherhood. Forming a brotherhood. And developing your assassin, becoming a mentor. And the third game is kind of like, hey, I'm an old geese over here. I just want to solve these damn riddles and get my damn life over with and see if I can help out with anything else. But the first one's Fuel Revenge, and it kind of shows you the naivety, he's naive. You know what I'm trying to tell you. The naivety of Ezio, and you know how young he is, and how like this is really a life-altering thing, and all he wants is blood, and he's out for blood. And rightfully so. I mean, I'm sure if somebody would have killed, for example, my mother, I wouldn't be the happiest camper on earth, and I'd probably want them dead too. I'm not exactly sure if I'd go through and chase down with everything that Ezio does in this game, but I probably want them dead. Anyway, I'm reading over here through the damn text trying to figure out what exactly you're trying to tell me right here. And I left the text over there just in case if you guys ever want to read it, just in case if you ever want to look at it. I mean, it's cool, you know, having that little historical element to the game, educating yourself a little bit while playing the game. You know, it's not necessarily an educational game, but that doesn't mean you can't learn something. And more importantly, we got to do like these things for the truth, which is a very interesting subject. 16, we'll talk about that. So what I want to talk about, the orchestral soundtrack of the game. Soundtrack. I always like to talk about music. Music very important to me in my life. I listen to music all day. Literally, I do listen to music all day. Sometimes you can get paid to listen to music. And you know, games have really elevated their game when it comes to the music department. You go and play like an NES. There might be an NES game coming up that I might put in the month of October. I ain't saying what, I ain't saying why, but there might be an NES game coming out in the month of October that I might be putting up. But we're gonna notice how it has a very good soundtrack, and there's some good catchy tunes to it. And to tell you the truth, I still have some of those tunes on my iPod. But those are kind of tunes that only like a video game person could like listen to. And hold on, let's check out over here the mission.
Who are you to speak of bounds? You who have crowned yourself Lorenzo di Medici, Principe of Firenze.
I've done no such thing.
Of course not. Ever innocent. How convenient. At least now we see how far your reach extends, which is to say, nowhere at all. It has proved a valuable lesson for me and my allies.
Yes. Your allies, the Pazzi. Is that what this is about?
Be careful with your words, Lorenzo. You might attract the wrong sort of attention.
My man over there straight threatening. Straight throwing those punches. Throwing that lefts and rights at you. You don't know it's gonna hit you. My man Umberto. Somebody gonna die tonight. Somebody gonna die tonight. It's a good song right there, man. Biggie. Boom, 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 boom. This goes out to you, and to you. But the orchestral soundtrack over there. So, you know, before with the Nintendo, it's just 8 bits. Like, that's all you could do. Try to muster up a catchy tune. And music is such an underrated value and fascinating game, and it still is to this day. And I'm kind of shocked that it is. Because it's your sole companion throughout the whole experience. When you're playing this single-player game, it's you and what you hear. Obviously, what you see is part of it, too. But what you see is what you're playing. I mean, that's just instinctual. But what you're hearing really feels like it accompanies you throughout the whole thing. And when you get a game that has a good soundtrack, an epic soundtrack, I mean, imagine Zelda if it didn't have those tunes. Imagine Zelda if it had just some like whack-ass like songs to it. It wouldn't be that good. It's not as cool going through like Hyrule Field with like some random whack-ass song playing. As compared to, you know, going through Hyrule Field and having the classic Zelda theme music through it. It makes you feel epic. It makes you feel like an experience that elevates the game. Because there's only so much that the game could do to transcend you, to put you in the game. After that, you got to rely on other facets. And that's the music for us, because there really isn't. It's not like you could, like, smell anything or something like that, which kind of would be alright. So I hopped over here to my man Umberto, and I was wondering what I killed him, because I think the mission said, like meet him or something like that. And I was like, do I have to wait, whatever? So I decided to listen to it a little bit, but I think eventually I do just go up to him and kill him. He doesn't really do much anyway. The thing with Assassin's Creed is the music really plays a key role. So let's examine, for example, the Venice Rooftop song, which is, I think, the song I play at the end of every video. I lead into the outro, and just an amazing song. It comes on in this game when you're being chased through the Venice rooftops, ironically. It's probably the best song I've heard in the Assassin's Creed franchise, and it combines everything. It starts off slow, it starts off with some nice pacing, then all of a sudden the beat drops and it just picks up, and it also has this layer of what I call just mythology laid over. So it's got the guitars, it's got the but then it has a over it, and it plasters onto it where it says, hey, listen, we're doing this crazy sick ass shit of running on top of the rooftop as Venezia, but we're doing it in this ball ass way through the Animus in a video game. Just it takes it to a whole nother mythological level, a whole nother level of expression and reality that really isn't that achieved in many other games, and something that makes this game a little bit special. I actually got to read over here for the exact wording I used. Was it for, actually not, pardon me, that was for tomorrow's video. Whoops, sorry about that. But basically, you know, when I talk about the mythological, I call it the swoosh effect, because you kind of hear that, and then it like starts all of a sudden dropping the beat. So that's pretty cool. And I wrote that in brings it to ethereal levels would be the best way, not so much mythological. Mythological kind of involves mythology, you know, like Roman gods and stuff. But to an ethereal level. Umberto, you dead, son.
You would have done the same. to save the ones you love.
Yes, I would. And I have. The Auditori are not dead! I'm still
There it
here!
is.
Me!
That's what I like to see right there.
Ezio Auditore!
Now, maybe shouting your name to everybody, and you know, that's probably not the best idea right there. We got one final letter here from Papa, from Father Auditori, from Giovanni Auditori, Dittore Firenzis. One last little letter over there letting you know what he discovered, what's going on. Boo-doo-dum, boo-doo-dum. So, you know, it's evolved. You know, obviously the technology is evolved, video games are evolved, and music is evolved in video games right now. I mean, right now, it's unlimited what you could do with music and video games. It's not like before where we're like, listen, man, you only get 3 tracks, 8 bits, do the best you can. Can't afford to use any more space. Here, it's like, listen, make whatever the hell fits in this. I remember I took a very deep look into, for Black Ops 2, the orchestral theme and how they developed that and the process of doing that. And it was amazing, you know, how they brought people in. I mean, they literally had just a whole orchestra playing these tracks right there. You don't really think about it when you're playing through the game. You're just busy shooting stuff. But that adds a whole nother layer to it. And then there's also licensed music that adds a lot of layer. If you go to Black Ops 1, for example, one of the most memorable, I think, stages and moments of like this generation game, like this, you know, Xbox 360, PS3, is that mission where you're on the damn boat and all of a sudden the Rolling Stones come on. I think it's Give Me Shelter, maybe? No, not Sympathy for the Devil. Roll today, bound gonna turn our ways. I can't even remember how it goes. I'm pretty sure it's Give Me Shelter. Pretty damn good song. Either way, they're both pretty damn good. And that was like a whole nother level right there. And that was just licensed music, but that was bringing you into that point in like the game. That point.
That's computer code.
And hold up here.
Let me compile it. Oh shit, it's an encrypted file.
Upload it to my computer. I'm a master at decryption.
I can't. It's only compatible with the Animus itself.
Upload it to Desmond then. I can't believe this.
Hello, this is...
It's our boy right here, Subject 16.
Listen, I don't have much time. There's something I have to show you. We have been lied to this whole time. Everything we know, everything we've been brought up to believe, it's wrong. Okay, I've uploaded the evidence, the file that proves
all right,
it all.
there we go.
But I've split it into 20 pieces and locked each with a code. Can't be too careful. Queen Isabella. No.
Oh, can you make it any harder, buddy?
What century is it? Never mind. I've hidden the code to the first file inside this program. Find it. Find them all. And along the way, you'll begin to see the truth.
What the heck? How did this get inside our Animus?
Oh,
Here we go.
the memory
The
core.
truth.
We transferred 16's memory data from Abstergo into the Animus 2.0. He must have hacked the machine when Vidic left him alone between sessions.
Oh, hold on, wait a second. The signs on the walls in Abstergo, the ones written in blood, those were clues. He was telling us to look for them inside the Animus.
There you go. If you notice at the beginning, very beginning of the game, if you want to go back to that first episode, that all those signature and stuff, that's Subject 16 right there, talking to you, letting you know the truth right here. And the truth is very interesting how it's displayed in this game. I mean, it really, you want to talk about historical lessons, you want to talk about education, you want to talk about groundbreaking stuff. I mean, it brings you anywhere from paintings, it brings you to works of art, it brings you to small little puzzles. And, you know, basically, because you're a mission and whatnot, I might go through over them. Sometimes I'm going to struggle, sometimes I'm not. It's just natural. It's only human. I'm trying to figure out a damn riddle on my own without looking anything up. I didn't think for one at the end crack, because I just had no clue what the hell was going on. I wasn't just going to sit there and turn a damn little circle thingy for like 1,000 days and pray that eventually I got it right. Some are pretty intuitive, some are not. Either way, though, you get to see like, you know, 8, 10, 9 ball of paintings right there. And, you know, I don't think we get to see any Starry Nights from Van Gogh, but guess what? I still haven't gone. I still got this almond painting sitting over here. God, it's been 5 days with the almonds. I have it on the floor. I didn't even put it up. I don't want this thing in my room, man. It's just it's not that shit I do like. It's not that stuff I kind of like to support. But check that out, man. Subject 16, the guy before you set this up that you could come in over here and figure out what the truth is and what is really going on. And oh my lord, I mean, talk about taking it even another level that probably you didn't need to do in this game, because this game's already deep enough in terms of like levels. And I'm not talking about Vici levels, I'm talking about like real levels. Shout out to my boy Vici though. He was pretty cool. He was at the radio station the other day. I'm not a big fan of Avicii. Matter of fact, I kind of almost didn't know who he was. He looks young as hell too, but whatever. You can see right here, I'm just struggling. I'm like, hold on, man. Which one of these is correct? And you kind of have to go through them, look at them, and rethink stuff. And it's cool. It's a little bit, it tests you a little bit in terms of like your knowledge, not so much in terms of knowledge of painting, but just in terms of knowledge of figure out riddles and puzzle resolve. And some of it's just platforming normally, the puzzle in this game, but these ones that are a little bit more intellectual, take a little bit more thought. They're pretty cool too. They're pretty neat, and it's an interesting way of explaining to you what exactly is going on. It's an interesting notion of the fact that subject 16 is in here somehow explaining to you what the hell is going on with this shit over there. But this episode's coming up over here to wrap. We got ourselves a passcode. That's pretty cool. And it basically gives you a little file unlock, a little screen, a little something over there, a little quick clip.
Best I leave Firenze.
Where will you go?
My uncle Mario owns a villa near Monteriggioni.
You're still a wanted man, Benson.
What would you have me do then?
I've seen posters all across the district. Tearing them down will have the city forget your face. No doubt the heralds also inside the public. Bribe them, and they'll speak of other things. Or you could hunt those who bear false witness against you. They traded dignity for coin. Their loss would not be mourned. Do any of these things, and you should be free to leave.